What happens to a god when the golden fuel runs dry? When the immortality fades and the cells begin to scream for iron? We were taught that vampires were monsters of the night. We were lied to. They aren't a different species. They are a system error. You are watching File 04 of Project Apotheosis. This is the conclusion of Day 2, the divine fuel. In File 03, we decoded Ichor, the synthetic gold fuel of the ancients. But today, we look at the glitch, the moment the god machine became a parasite. Across every culture, there is a story of a god who fell and developed a taste for human blood. The Egyptian Sekhmet, the Sumerian Lilith, the Greek Lamia. In the world of bio-mythology, these aren't separate myths. They are the medical records of a biological collapse. The god machine was designed to run on high-efficiency, gold-based Ichor. But as the ancient world collapsed and the refueling stations disappeared, these beings faced a terrifying choice: starve or scavenge. Human blood is rich in iron and hemoglobin. To a being whose system is failing, our blood is an emergency battery. The vampire isn't a supernatural curse. It is a cellular parasite. It is a high-functioning entity forced to hunt primitive humans just to keep its hardware from shutting down. Why do vampires fear the sun? In bio-mythology, Ichor acted as a bioelectrical shield against UV radiation. Without it, the god skin becomes hypersensitive. The sun doesn't just burn them, it triggers a total system failure. They aren't creatures of the night by choice. They are biological exiles hiding from a star that their systems can no longer handle. Look at the Sekhmet myth from ancient Egypt. She was the Eye of Ra, a terrifying power that nearly wiped out humanity because her thirst for blood could not be quenched. The priests didn't stop her with magic. They stopped her with a biochemical substitute. They dyed beer red with pomegranate juice to trick her system. This tells us two things. First, the hunger was uncontrollable and biological. Second, the gods could be manipulated through their chemistry. She wasn't evil. She was a high-performance machine running on the wrong fuel. She was the first recorded instance of the Ichor withdrawal syndrome. Then there are the demigods, the hybrids. In the myths, these beings often possess the strength of the gods but the mortality of humans. But many carried the parasite gene. The myths of the Strigoi in Romania or the Vitala in India describe beings that can drain the life force. If you remove the folklore, you are left with a being that lacks the ability to produce its own high-level energy. We weren't their children, we were their cattle. We were the biological resource they needed to stay awake in a world that had moved past the golden age. The vampire is the ultimate proof of the god machine theory. They are the living remnants of a technology that ran out of power. They are the old hardware still trying to run in a world that no longer supports their OS. The fuel is exhausted. The hunger is real, but even a failing machine needs to see its target. Tomorrow we move to Day 3, the perception hack. We are going to look at the eyes of the gods and how they rewired the human senses to see the invisible. The blueprint is shifting. Click here to watch File 05, the Horus lens, where we uncover the biological truth behind the third eye. Because wait, what happens to a god when the golden fuel runs dry? When the immortality fades and the cells begin to scream for iron?